Oh my God, it's so good to be on the wind down.
Yeah, so it's my girl voice in there. So at the very end, that's a little sneak thing for you.
That's the
Because
teaser.
everybody was asking me, they were like, "Hey, did you get your ex-girlfriend to do the voice on new Chevy?" And I was like, "Nah, it's me, bruh."
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Wind Down. I'm here yet again with Chandler Cooper. How you doing, my friend?
What's up? What's up, guys? I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so
Again.
a little context, because we already had Chandler on, if you guys remember. If you guys don't know, we actually briefly mentioned it during the actual episode itself. Chandler ain't no one-trick pony. He's also a musician, and his EP is out now. We're going to delve into that. But first, because it is The Wind Down, did you bring your drink?
Yeah, the first time it was yerba mate, and I still drink yerba mate every day. I haven't been able to stop. But now I'm just drinking water. I'm trying to hydrate myself in a season of water. So I just have a cup with water. It's like my fourth one today.
Bringing us back to when you first started, how long have you been a musician for?
I would say since 2017. 2017, I started pursuing it really hard. But I've been writing music my whole life. And in 2010, so 12 years ago, I started writing every day. And I released an album in 2013. It kind of consumed my life, and then I kind of fell off for a little bit. But I would say consistently since 2017. But I've always been writing and taking it serious for 12 years now.
What actually got you into making music? Was there any inspiration leading you in that path?
Yeah, my whole family is very music oriented. My dad was a I guess I don't want to word it wrong, but he was a professional cover artist in Guatemala in the 80s. And so we've always just had music around the house, and I've seen how it could just light fire under people. And my mom would have her sisters over and stuff. They'd be singing songs and doing all that stuff. And my dad, we would be bumping Bob Marley constantly, and shit like that. So I saw that, and I was inspired by it, and I knew that I had a knack for songwriting. Is knack the right word? I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I enjoyed it a lot, and I would hear music on the radio, and I was like, dude, I could do that. I could do that better than this person or whatever. And then embarrassing fact, not even embarrassing, I hope you're watching this, but what got me really into it was I went and saw Macklemore live. And I was like, this dude's just doing basically spoken word for one of my favorite songs. And I thought it was really powerful and really moving. And I went and saw a bunch of artists live, and I was like, I want that. I want to do that. I want to create music. And so I just kind of started, So,
I highly doubt Macklemore is watching, first of all.
I've been DMing him for a year. And it's actually, I would show the DMs, but they're ridiculous and they're awful. It's like, I'm just acting toxic as hell to him.
Has he replied at all?
No, he hasn't even opened it, but I'm hoping one day he's gonna follow me and then look at our DMs and be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Because I messaged him, I was like, hey man, I'm a big fan. I would love it if you would listen to my music. This was like a year ago. I was like, I would love for you to just hear it. I'm not asking for anything. I'm an independent artist. And then he didn't open it or respond. And so I said, a month later, I just messaged him back, coward. and then about 2 weeks later, I messaged him again and said, I'm sorry for calling you a coward. And then about a month later, I said coward. And so I've just been going back and forth, with myself.
You gotta send me a screenshot for that.
Yeah, I'll send you a screenshot for sure, dude. It's awful. It's so toxic.
I love it. It's perfect. Okay, so what you're here for is discussing the EP. By the time of release, it will be out.
Yeah.
So actually, talk me through the EP, track by track. First of all, what are the songs, and tell me the stories behind said songs.
Okay, so to preface this, the album came about. I went through a really bad breakup. I couldn't eat. I was just devastated. I didn't stop crying. And I had decided that I wanted to make an album and call it I Got Dumped, Here's an EP, LOL. And that was the first thought, was I should make an album and call it I Got Dumped, Here's an EP, LOL. And I wrote that in my notes. There's this incredibly talented producer. His name is Jaden Gray. And I hit him up and I was like, dude, what's your rates? And so I wiped out my bank account, went out to LA, and I made this music where I could just vent because therapy was not working. So I was just like, I'm just gonna vent and get everything out and create art with it. Then I was staying in a house at one point, and one of my best friends, the Prophet, was living there. And I kind of went up to his room, and he was like making music, and I was like, "What are your rates? Let's make a song together." And that's how "Away From Me" came out. But yeah, so I went out to LA, wiped out my bank account, and created the best project I've ever made. And yeah, so the first song on the project is called "He's About to Start." It was previously called "No Good Left and Goodbye," but it's called "He's About to Start," and it takes you through the first like denial phase. I'm missing the long drives now. I just see you every time in the car lights and those dark eyes. I want to be all right. And then I say, why would God just make your body for me to watch it walk away? And so there's so much. That was produced by Jaden. That's so much just sadness and the first phase of it. We actually made that song last to try to tie together the album. Once we got a feel of the album, we made that song last. And so that's the premise of it is there's no good left in goodbye. That's the whole thing is you took the good out of goodbye for me. There was no goodbye. It was it ended so bad that there's no good left in it. So that's what the first song is. And it has a little skit where I go,
Oh, I'm so excited to see what he brings up next. I'm not, he sucks. Oh, Reginald, give the boy a break. Shh, he's about to start.
and then it goes into Eye to Eye. And Eye to Eye at its core is a song about being so depressed you can't eat. I had never been so depressed that I couldn't eat, and for like weeks I was just malnourished almost. Like I couldn't eat food. I was just drinking a bunch of water, and I couldn't stomach food. I would chew it, and I would just be so turned off by food that like I would swallow it and just get nauseous for the rest of the day. So I just didn't eat for a while. And I'd never felt that before. And I know so many people who are listening to this that might be a daily struggle for you. And it's I never experienced it firsthand. And now that I have, I understand that. I don't understand what it's like for that chronically. But I do understand that. And that's why in the song, I'm just like aching. I'm aching to get past it. I'm aching to get over it. I can't even feed myself. Can I just be myself again? You know?
Each time I don't want you no more. I realize I can't even feed myself. Can I just be myself again?
And Eye to Eye actually came from a song that we trashed this song, and Jaden sat down at the piano and he just started making Eye to Eye, the beat, and it just came together, and it was so poetic. And you know, I've been thinking about it lately. I know you're scared to be alone, so you want me to fall apart, because the only answer I found is maybe I'm too far gone. So it's like there's, you know, every line we want to make sure it hit hard, and so there was a lot of scrapping stuff and getting rid of stuff, and how it is with everything. But yeah, that's Eye to Eye, and you know, I don't want to say goodbye, but I don't know what else to say. I just lost a friend. I just want to run and hide because I'll never be the same. I just lost again. Those are the lyrics at the very end. So yeah, I mean, Eye to Eye, I was overwhelmed with the way it turned out, and I was more overwhelmed with the way it was received. It has, you know, 60,000 as of right now. It has 60,000 streams on Spotify, and it changed a lot for me to where it was no longer. TikTokers have this reputation of blowing up on TikTok and then making bad music. And when I came out of the gate with Eye to Eye, people were like, let's listen to the kid. You know, like let's actually listen to what he has to say, because and the big thing I get with Eye to Eye and Away From Me is honestly, I was surprised. I didn't think it would be good. And it's like, you know, that's a compliment, but it's kind of backhanded, but it's also not. Like, you go from a character of to for those of you listening, I just did the face of my infamous character. But you go from that face, and then it's like, oh, I make music, by the way. And then people listen to the music and they don't expect it to be good, you know? So it's really cool. I'm just glad people are listening, man, to be honest. I'm really happy with that. So then I released Away From Me because I figured Away From Me needed to be a single. That song just stands out.
One sign for the memories you kill. Two signs for the time that never heals. Three signs for the love that wasn't real to me.
It's a it's a punk rock song, sorry. And so, that song was amazing to make. It was originally a Wonder in Wonder. I don't know if you've heard that song by Shawn Mendes, but I said, hey, he said, do you have any reference tracks? And I was like, sure, let's do something big and beautiful and wild. And this was me riding the high of New Chevy. Like that was the song I'd been working on, was New Chevy. And I was like, I want something big and massive and gorgeous. And I want to strings and all this shit. And he goes, okay, cool, let's do it. He starts going through finding samples, and he finds this guitar samples. And I just said, I didn't know I loved you up until you left. I didn't. And so it turned it like kind of half jokingly. Like we made this song kind of half joke, and about an hour into us making it, it became serious. But everybody's like, you're a poser. And it's like, dude, I'm not a big fan of punk rock, but I had things I needed to say, and just the lyrics of I didn't know I loved you up until you left. I didn't know I needed all the lies you said, but you said you loved me, and you said there's nothing you wouldn't do for me, but you left me lonely. You left me pleading. I'm next to you bleeding. My heart needs a treating. My throat needs a squeezing. Which when I wrote that, my throat needs a squeezing, everybody said it was corny. And I was like, no, dude, it's a double entendre.
Yeah.
It's like, my throat needs a squeeze and I want to kill myself, but also I miss the sex kind of thing. I want my throat, so that's what it was. And so anyways, I kept it in. And yeah, then we go to Rent Free. And Rent Free caused some debates. So for those of you who haven't listened yet, go on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music, and check out Rent Free. Rent Free is I wanted a groovy type song, like something that people could really. I want it to be light and pretty, but also kind of hit the punch, So. Those lyrics on there, like, I like you more when you're not here, the bad slips my mind. And something I've told a couple people, but I like you more when you're not here, the bad slips my mind. That line, this is going to sound like I'm like some prophecy, like I'm so poetic, but that line I wrote in my sleep because I was having this dream that my ex was with me, and she said, do you still love me? And in my dream, I just said, I like you more when you're not here. And she was like, what? And I was like, when you're not here, all of the bad things you do go away. And all I can think about are the good. So I like you more when you're not here, the bad slips my mind. And then the chorus was the controversial part of that song because I was like, honestly, I think Jaden would be able to vouch for me on this. I was probably 8 or 9 Coronas in when I made that song. I was just drunk. And we decided to do a big build up and like a screaming so everybody could scream their hearts out to it. And I say, I don't want to do this anymore. You're doing anything I can't ignore. So please don't text my sister ever again. You know that bitch will never be your friend. And it's because my ex had texted my sister and was like, I'm so sorry about everything, after like just bashing me publicly. So I was like, she's doing anything that is impossible for me to ignore. Everybody in the studio was like, dude, no. This is a no. Do not call your sister a bitch on a song. And I was like, no, I have to. I was like, it hits. And they're like, how about that she will never be your friend? I was like, no, that bitch will never be your friend. I was like, it hits. I was like, I'm immortalizing my sister as a bitch in a song, and she's still not going to be your friend. And I was like, that's kind of the poetry behind it. I call my parents. I'm like, hey, should I call my sister? I'm not going to say my sister's name, but I go, hey, should I call just for the sake of saying a name, I'm just gonna call her Alana. So I go, should I call Alana a bitch on a song? Mom was like, what's the context? I told her, and she was like, yes, you should. I call my dad. My dad's like, yes, do it. So I call my sister, and my sister's like, dude, fuck yeah, please call me a bitch on a song. That's awesome. Everybody in the studio still, no, 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 no. And I was like, I'm married to it. I'm sorry. I have to do it. And they were like, no, you should not do it. And then my other friend, Silas, Jaden's brother, who's an incredible songwriter, comes in from a songwriting session. And he hears it and he goes, dude, you have made a beautiful project so far, and this will ruin it, calling your sister a bitch. And I said, okay, I'll think about it. No, I'm still going to say it. And then so we called this guy Devin Garcia, who's amazing. His whole thing is like, I'm going to revive pop. I'm going to revive pop. And like, he's great. Like he's phenomenal. So Devin Garcia is an incredible artist. And so we called him and he was like 100% say bitch. 100%. He's like a super innovative songwriter. He was like, that's it. That's the nectar. That's the sauce. Call her a bitch. So he did. And then it grew on everyone. So that was Rent Free. And yeah, that Rent Free is just like it's about self-love, trying to overcome it. You know, I say you broke my heart, but I realize now I don't think that I will ever need your love again. I'm feeling hopeless. I'm lost in the moments. I hate it, but I'm learning how to love within. Kind of that I'm having to go through this journey of self-love, and I wish I wasn't having to go through this much pain, but I'm learning to love myself, because in the end of the day, the relationship kind of fell because I put all my love into someone and I didn't have any self-love. I was going through a dark period. So that song, that's what Rent Free is. And I think Rent Free is a great song for kind of like fuck you to your ex, but also kind of listen to the lyrics and feel it. Feel what you're going through. Don't try to just, well, I'm going to go, drink tonight. I'm going to get fucked up because I'm going to, go fuck this person, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to, it's like, don't try to move on too quick. Sit there and heal from it. That's kind of the whole premise of Rent Free. Heal, learn to love yourself, but also say fuck you to people who treat you bad. And that's what Rent Free is. Let's get into the nectar. Let's get into the nectar. Let's get into New Chevy.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
I love, dude. I'm obsessed with New Chevy. New Chevy. The first song I made for the album in June of last year, June 2021, was this record where I just get into everything. I dive in pretty head. I had so much to say, and I truly say it all in that song. And that was my song of healing when I wasn't fully healed. But I think it was kind of that I hate to use the word again because it's kind of a weird word, but I was aching to get over it. And so I just kind of projected it into the song. So New Chevy, to back up, I was with Jaden Gray, and we were like at a party, and we were coming back. Everybody's a little fucked up, to be honest. We were partying, having some fun. And he said, you know what? I don't even know if I should say this, but he said one thing that annoys him is when I shouldn't say this. I'm not gonna say this part.
100%
I don't want it to. He just said that it's frustrating when people want to use reference tracks and they want to be so similar to other artists when those artists are already established, because it's just going to make his production and his writing seem like it's bit off. And I heard that, and I listened to him say that, and we go into the studio to make New Chevy. We didn't know what it was at the time. And I said, I want you to make something that you want to make as the beat. I said, I have things I want to say. Sorry. I was like, I have things I want to say, and I want this to be fun for you. Please have fun. I put all my trust in you. I think he's a genius. Certifiable musical genius, Jaden Gray. So he was like, no way. Okay, cool. He's like, you trust me? And he kept saying, you trust me? And I was like, bro, stop asking if I trust you. I trust you. Just do it. And he starts off with, and he goes into the booth and he goes, you trust me? I was like, yes. And he goes, and then he said, I was like, oh, what would I even do here? And he goes, thought I had the antidote in your new Chevy. And I go, whoa. And he goes, obviously we wouldn't say your new Chevy. He goes, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. And at this point I knew it was lightning in the bottle, because that was something I kind of wanted to touch on this album.
Thought I had Don't you treat me like an animal, you left the door open. Guess that's why you went and slammed it closed. Your new Chevy. You dancing when you say goodbye. All I wanna do is
New Chevy. So without giving too much away about my ex, because like I'm healed, I've moved on, but it's time to talk about the album. So she gotta save face. She had a new Chevy right before we met in person. We've been talking for a while. Right before we met in person, she wrecked and totaled it. Had a cash car the entire time we were dating, and all she could talk about was her Chevy. She was like, I miss my Chevy. I miss my Chevy. I was like, why don't you just buy a new Chevy? She was like, that was the only beautiful thing I've ever had. So I told myself, if I ruined that, I'd never let myself have anything beautiful again. And I said, so for the first time in your life, you don't have an abuser, like an active, family member, or, boyfriend, friends, things like that. I was like, so now you're punishing yourself because of this trauma, kind of therapying it. And she goes, I never thought of it that way. That's exactly what I'm doing, Chan. And I was like, yeah, why don't you buy yourself a new Chevy? You deserve it. So she bought herself a new Chevy. And this song is about me wanting her to kill me with her car, running me over so that it's not suicide. So the whole thing is, you have something beautiful, you lose it, you get it back. Same thing happened with her Chevy. And same thing that I was imagining would happen with her. I lost it, I get it back, but in the end, it's the thing that kills you. So that's what it is. It's a farewell, I'm okay. I say I'm okay, but I'm not, but I swear everything's gonna be all right. And I know that you lied when you told me, girl, I was just your type. My type, my eyes, yeah, they be searching for you. So, yeah, I mean, the song goes to that. It goes to a kind of, thought I had the antidote, you thicker than a Santa coat, you left the door open, why'd you go ahead and slam it though? In your new Chevy, you're dancing when you say goodbye. She was also a exotic dancer. So you're dancing when you say goodbye, because she broke up with me while she was working. You're dancing when you say goodbye, and all I want to do is die. Please hit me with your car so they can't call it suicide in your new Chevy. And so, yeah, it was originally going to be the intro, and I sent the demo to a lot of my friends, and all of them were like, drop it right now, drop it right now. You have to drop this right now. And I was like, it's not ready. It took months, and it became ready. We had strings, we had the feeling of aching, and one of my first big breakdowns from the breakup was I drive a lot. I don't like to text and drive. I send snap videos and drive. And I was hanging out with one of my friends, and she was like, I know you're going through a lot. Why don't you just come hang out with us, and like we'll try to get your mind off it. I was like, there's no getting my mind off it, but yeah, that's fine. So I go over there, and I'm like about to start crying. I said to her, hey, I'm about to lose it. I just need to leave. And she was like, okay, like no worries. Good friend. Her name is Tyra. Shout out Tyra. And she had text me on Snapchat when I was driving home, and she said, are you good, bub? And that's when I started crying, and I took a video. And then as soon as the video hit, I started crying, and I said, I need to get home. I just need to get home. Like, and then I start breaking down harder, and I sent it to her, but I also saved it. And I was like, this is going to be the coldest sample of all time. And so it starts off with, I need to get home, the audio from that Snapchat. I was like, if I decide to make music off this is going to fucking hit. And I'm not going to be able to replicate this feeling. So,
so much.
I documented all of my mental breakdowns. And a couple of them, there's two of them that made it to Eye to Eye, the Eye to Eye video. And they look like they're one video, but I'm just wearing a white shirt. And so it's two different videos, me wearing a white shirt, different days. And I'm screaming, fuck, like this blood-curdling scream because I'm so angry. This one we were still together. And then another video about, a week later after we broke up, and it's me bawling my eyes out. And so I have both of those in there. And so the Eye to Eye music video, you see that. In the Eye to Eye music video, by the way, you see me with a big beard, depressed as shit. And then I go over to a mirror, I look at myself, I start to shave, and as I do, clean shaved me, laughing, smiling, young, like 10 years old, laughing and, doing that shit. It's me clean faced and happy. And I'm shaving, and as I'm shaving, I'm having flashbacks of me with the beard so upset, and it shows a growth. It shows that with the growth that I've gone through, the beard is the growth, and to start new, when I shave and start new in the video, I'm happy again. I'm laughing, I'm relieved, I'm smiling, I'm fucked up. You don't know I'm fucked up, but I'm drunk as shit in the back of a car going 40 miles an hour, holding my arms out, doing this whole number, like just so excited. And so, yeah, I documented all of my mental breakdowns that I had because I knew that there would be some beautiful art made out of it. And so that's what I did. So in New Chevy, it starts off with, I need to get home, like, and then in the end of New Chevy, at the very end, there's a skit where it's my voice as a woman.
Chandler, hey, you're saying her name in your sleep again.
That was you the whole fucking time?
Yes,
There's no
Chandler.
fucking way, dude. I thought you just got one of your friends to do that shit, man. I was like, damn, this is deep. Oh my god.
No, it's me. And I say,
Chandler, hey, you're saying her name in your sleep again.
and I go, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Like, it's totally fine. Like, how about we just stay in today and we can do, like, anything you want?
And I go, oh, I need to get home. I didn't want to, they wanted me to get a girl for it. And I said, no, I'll do it. They were like, nah, just get a girl.
You've
And I was
just
like, no, I want to do it.
You
And
blew
it's,
my mind. You've actually fucking blew my
Chandler.
mind.
Oh my god, it's so good to be on the wind down.
yeah, so it's my girl voice in there. So at the very end, that's a little sneak thing for you.
the
Because
teaser.
everybody's asked me, they were like, hey, did you get your ex-girlfriend to do the voice on New Chevy? And I was like, nah, it's me, bruh.
Oh, so
Oh
good.
my god, hey.
Yeah, so I did the girl voice on there, and it was kind of like that for my, it's someone who loves me for me and is willing to help me heal. And it's like, I know you've gone through this pain, we can't deny it, let's just have a day for yourself, we can do anything you want. And I said, I need to get home, like, so that was the poetry behind the skits. I know they seem kind of weird, and you hear I need to get home, like, and then the problem with New Chevy is New Chevy takes you through this whole journey, and by the end of it, you've forgotten that there was an intro to it. And I've noticed that. I picked up on that. People get so into the song that they forget about the intro. So they're like, what is that skit at the end? You know? But it's actually a play off the beginning. So when I made that I need to get home and I looked back at it with clear eyes, I was like, when I decided to make the project, I was like, I'm going to put this in the intro of the album. And then I'm going to twist it and put it at the outro of the album. Well, New Chevy was originally the intro of the album before it got too big and massive and healing, and it was originally the intro. And so we had that for the intro. And I was like, fuck it, let's just add a whole other layer to New Chevy instead of putting that at the beginning and that at the end. Let's do like a dream sequence. Let's do a dream sequence at the beginning. At the beginning of He's About to Start, there's this whole sequence of my whole family. I got them send voice memos. My whole family saying, Chandler, wake up, wake up, wake up. And at the end, it's me waking up. So the whole thing became like a dream sequence instead of that. So yeah, then just try to make some records that feel like euphoric. And by the end, I want you to hear it in the beginning. People hear He's About to Start and they've started crying. They've told me that they cry when they hear He's About to Start. And then at the end of the project, it's meant to make you feel like, you know, I just went through that and I'm out on the other side. And I'm making a line of merch. I need to actually make that soon, but keep an eye out for it, guys, because I'm making a line of merch. It says, I got dumped because Chan dropped his I got dumped. Here's an EP, LOL, EP, LOL.
I love that.
It's like so
That's good.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be my little merch line for the project. And then, yeah, but yeah, that's the album. That's walking through it. And that's everything. I hope people can laugh, cry, and heal with me. You know, that's the whole thing about it.
I think one last question to wrap that up, because I think there was like 2 or 3 other questions. I'm like, they're getting scrapped. That was perfect. That's the formula of today's episode, is just
Perfect.
walking you through it. It wrote itself basically. But the last question I want to walk off with is, where are you dropping it? Where is it going to be? Where is it available?
Okay, yeah, it is. It's currently available on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, everywhere that you can listen to music. And if you don't have the money to listen to music, it's on SoundCloud for free, and it is on YouTube. It's everywhere that you can possibly listen to music.
Everything,
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care about the money of it. I just want you to listen to it. You know.
all the links will be below. And that is the second episode of the Wind Down with Chandler Cooper, revealing his new EP, which is out now. Listen to it. I had a sneak peek a good while ago, and New Chevy was
Yeah.
definitely something that stood out to me big time. I think, you know,
Thank you.
it's my favorite song of the year. No
Thank
bullshit.
you, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I sent him I sent Seth here.
Oh, fuck off with the Seth shit.
I sent Scott the album. He was like, dude, I can't remember what the context was, but you said, "Can I get the album?"
I
or
threatened.
something
I
like, even
threatened
half joke.
something. I threatened.
That's- yeah. You threatened me, and I was like, "All right, cool." And I sent him the whole album in order, and I was like, "Listen to it," you know. And he just, that was his thing, was he was like, "Dude, new Chevy," and I was like, "Thank you, man." Yeah.
I'm so excited to obviously, because at that point I was out and stuff on Spotify, so we banged out on stream, and I was like, I cannot tell you anymore, like, because it's not even out yet, but like, let me fucking tell you, there's one song I'm just excited to rock some Call of Duty behind, and it's New Chevy.
Dude, all you had to do was ask. Like, I don't care. I'm like, as long as people hear it.
I asked you, and you said,
and I said
yeah,
yes,
and
right?
I'm like, but I don't want to do that because I want to wait until it's fully out so everybody can like experience it together and stuff.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And
Yeah.
but I wanted to tell people that I felt special because I had special hearing of it before, you know. But no, listen, guys. Thank you so much for stopping on by, Chandler. Thank you guys for watching / listening. Listen to the EP. He got dumped. Now there's an EP.
I got dumped. Here's an EP. LOL. Look that up on all streaming platforms and everywhere you like to listen to your music.